Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 4 to you, which starts June the 16th through June the 22nd. We'll be looking at verbs that end in AR, ER, IR, and the verb tener. You want to start this week by looking at pages 58 to 68, 78 to 84, 40 to 55, and for your test, review pages 40 to 55 for your test and pages 4 to 5, 10 to 11, 13 to 17, 24 to 25, 30, 43, 59, and 62 to 65 for your essay. So at the end, after completing this week's assignments, you should be able to describe your physical appearance, your nationality, and some of your personality traits to others. You should be able to use verbs that end in AR, ER, and IR to tell what you and other people like to do in Spanish. You should be able to read 2 short texts on the Spanish-speaking world and about a student describing her math class, and be able to answer short answer questions on what you have read, which will demonstrate your ability to read and comprehend short passages in Spanish. You should be able to use the verb tener to tell what you and others have and have to do. You should also be able to discuss your classes and how you feel, as well as be able to describe yourselves to others. You should be able to exchange information about classes and talk about how you and others feel. You should be able to use adjectives, adjective agreement rules, article noun agreement rules, and regular present tense verbs, as well as nationality vocabulary to write a brief autobiography. This week's activities address student learning outcomes 1, 2, and 5 and are all due on the 20th. You'll start this week, like all others, by looking at your instructor-made videos. And after you've watched the videos that are on vocabulary and AR, ER, and IR verbs and tener, you'll go into the class participation forum, click on the thread, hit reply, and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in the videos. And if you don't have any questions or concerns, then you need to post that as well. This is a grade, so you have to post something or you'll get a 0 and you cannot make this up. We also have our first reading comprehension quiz, so if you open this up, you're going to see a few passages. You'll read those, and when you're ready, you'll hit attempt quiz now. Notice that you have 2 hours in which to complete this, so do not start it until you're ready. The passages are here again. You have a few short like fill in the blanks. So read the question, read the partial answer, fill in what's missing, and then you have some true false. Okay, when you're done, you'll hit finish attempt, and it will come to me, and I'll go through and grade it. Okay. You also have assignment 6. You're going to visit my language labs. If you click this link here, it'll take you out to my language labs. You can log in, and then you'll complete the assignments that are on the calendar for the 20th, which are these assignments right here. So you'll click that link, log into my language lab, which should look something like this. You'll go up to your, let me get out of that. You'll go up to your course calendar, up to your assignments, click on the course calendar, then make sure you're in June. Scroll down to the date your assignments are due, which is the 20th. They're going to pop up in the middle here. You open up each one and do what you're told. And then you can hit, when you're done, picking the right answer, then hit finish and submit for grading, or you can click it down here. It'll give you a score. If you don't like your score, it'll give you the option to try again. You can try it as many times as you would like before the assignment's due date. But if you're doing it 3 times, more than 3 times, I suggest reaching out to me. Okay. You also have oral dialogue 2 preparation. Just like before, we're going to workshop oral. Actually, with oral dialogue 1, you didn't have to workshop it because oral dialogue 1 is pretty easy. Usually what I ask you guys to do, and what I'm asking you to do here, is to workshop it. So you're going to open up oral dialogue 1. It's telling you that 2, that you're getting ready to post your first vlog or video blog in Spanish, and you've decided to describe an important person in your life, a friend, a family member, an influential teacher. You will need to give a description of him or her orally. Include the following information. So this one is your draft. You're going to write out what you're going to say, and then in 2 weeks' time is when you're actually going to do the recording. So these are the things you need to write out in Spanish, telling me this person that you've chosen, his or her name, their relationship to you, if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your best friend, your dog, probably not the dog, this person's nationality, what he or she studies or what they do for a living, like their job, a physical description of this person, and some other interesting facts, like this person's favorite book or music or something you guys do together. Okay, so when you're ready, you'll hit start preparing your submission. You'll write out this description of this important person to you, and you'll hit save changes. Next week, you'll see this workshop show up on the calendar again, only you won't see when you click on it, you won't see your own script. You'll see someone else's, And it's going to be your job to go through and critique what they wrote, as well as I'm going to go through everybody's also. And then the week after that is when you'll actually make your recording. Whoops, too far. Okay. We also have test 3, which has to be completed by the end of the day on the 20th. So when you're ready, you'll open up test 3. You've got 3 hours in which to complete it on only one attempt, so don't start it until you're ready. Jorge has a very busy week ahead of him. Use the information provided in his schedule to answer the following questions. Be sure to write out all times and words and include expressions for AM and PM, like de la mañana, de la tarde, de la noche, to make your answers more complete. So you can see Jorge's school schedule, and then you have some questions here about his schedule. So based on the information you see here, fill in the blanks. Okay, down here, Anita y Carlos, your professors asked the class to choose a pen pal from the Hispanic world. Who would you like to write to? Listen to the description of the 2 remaining students and then choose the best word to complete each sentence. So you're gonna, I think there's multiple of these. It's the same recording, so you can listen. I think you can click here. And I think you could click here, either one. So you'll listen to the recording, and then you will answer these questions. Anita estudia. What does she study based upon what you've heard here? So you've got quite a few of those. Then down here it says, ¿de qué país? Help your classmate learn the nationalities by completing the following sentences with the appropriate nationality or country. So if you're given the country that the person's from, give their nationality. If you're given their nationality, give the country. And that's what you fill into the blanks there. Whoops, I'm going too far. All right, verdad. Read each of the following sentences carefully, then form a yes-no question for each by either inverting the subject and verb or by using a tag question. Okay, so you will want to turn this is a statement. So what yes-no question could have given you that statement? So that's what you're doing. You're taking the information there and turning it around and turning it into a question. You have only 2 options. You could do the inverted subject-verb form for making questions, or the one with a tag word. And if you're not sure how to get the upside down question mark, let me see if I can't. Over on the right-hand side of our site, there should be, right here. This video will tell you how to set up a Spanish keyboard, and this will tell you the codes, what keystrokes you hit to get like the upside down question mark when you're using your Spanish keyboard. Okay. And if you can't get it to work, since the questions do require question marks, if you do the right side up one more, in the right, if you do it twice, like in the right place, then I'll go ahead and give you credit. But if you don't have the double question marks in the right place, even if it's going the wrong way, then I'll probably take points off. Okay, here, como son. How much do you know about the people and places below? Find out by using the words provided to create a logical sentence. Be sure to pay attention to agreement and gender and number. So you're taking the pieces given and writing a complete sentence, which may require you're probably going to have to conjugate a verb, like make the verb reflect who it is that's young and handsome or intelligent and extroverted. And then you will also sometimes maybe have to change the spelling of the adjectives, because remember, in Spanish, adjectives agree in number and gender with the nouns they describe. So if they're describing a female, they might have a different ending than if they're describing a male. Okay. Que hora es? Complete the sentences with the appropriate word or phrase to express time. So you're telling the time. Part of the time has been given. You're filling in what's missing. Here, las palabras interrogativas, you have these interrogative words up here. You have a partial question and a response. Using that partial question and response, figure out which question word needs to go into the blank. And that's everything that you have to do for this test. Okay, so let's go back to our week. And you also have writing assignment 1. So we're going to click on writing assignment 1. This is something we're workshopping as well. It's Mi Autobiografía. You have decided to start a blog entirely in Spanish and are trying to attract readers. Write your first post, an autobiography. Include a minimum of all the information and give as much detail as possible. So in your writing, you need to write your name, where you're from, your nationality, your birthday, where you live, a physical description of yourself, some aspects of your personality, and at least 3 activities you do during a typical week or weekend. So when you're ready, you hit start preparing submission. You'll write all this here in Spanish, hit save changes. Next week, you'll see this workshop again, but just like with the oral, you're going to be critiquing someone else's draft, as well as I'll go through and critique your draft. And then 2 weeks, and two weeks from now, you'll actually write the final draft, incorporating the changes that I suggested you make. And I think that's everything that you have to do for